Good afternoon, everyone. So today's tutorial, we are focusing on data manipulation and analysis using pandas. So this is also one more library in Python for different analysis and manipulation of your data set. It may be a CSV file or it may be your Excel file or anything. So pandas come with lots of features to deal with your analysis of the data. It's a library which can be used for analysis of your data. It's a powerful data structure that can hold a different data, and we can perform different analysis on your data set. So what is in the pandas? Basically, it's a panel data. It's short form for your panel data. So we know that our data is not like it is having only one column and one row like that. We can have more columns and rows also. So we need to deal with those data. It's like a big data, and it may be a tabular structure. We have rows and columns, and we need to sort it, we need to filter it, we need to perform some analysis operations. We have different operations on your data and perform that analysis using pandas. So it was developed in 2018, 2008 we can say. Python is very vastly used for that data munging preparation, data exploration, data analysis, and pandas will solve all those issues. There are different operations or different processing steps for the analysis of your data, like loading, preparing, manipulating, modeling, and analyzing. So these are the different steps, processing steps we can perform using pandas. It can be used in commercial and academic domains like finance, economics, statistics, analytics, etc. So various applications are available in industry and even in academic. So it is widely used. That pandas library is are widely used in all the domains. These are the features we can say of pandas. It is fast and efficient data frame object. So pandas come with different objects, series object, panel object, and data frame object. Data frame object is very fast and efficient whenever we talk about analysis. It is a tool for loading data into your in-memory data objects from your different file formats. Data alignment and integrated handling of missing data. So we know that we have millions of data, like we have different rows, multiple rows and columns. So some data may be missing or some data may be blank. So we need to handle those missing data also. And that task can be done in pandas also. We can reshape and we can pivot data sets. We can have some label based slicing, indexing, subsetting of large data sets. The normal operations we can perform like slicing and indexing also on your pandas. We can add or delete columns from your data structure. We can group by and we can perform some aggregation and transformations on your data. We can merge the data, combining a data frame. So these are some features provided by your pandas whenever we have data. So these are the three data structure we have in pandas: series, data frame, and panel. Series is like one dimensional labeled homogeneous array, that is size is immutable. So it's like a 1D array, but size is immutable. Data frame is 2D labeled. It's like a tabular structure, rows and columns, combination of rows and columns, tabular structure. And size is mutable. Size is mutable structure, and it can have heterogeneous data. Data frame can store heterogeneous data. And third data structure is panel. It's like a 3D labeled array. Its size is mutable. It can have a 3D label. So these three data structures we have in pandas: series, data frame, and panel. So in our syllabus, we have only series and data frame. So today's session we are focusing on examples of your series, what is meant by series and what is meant by data frame, along with the examples. And if time permits, we will see one more example on a data set, how we can import a data set and how we can perform analysis in pandas on that data set. Talking about series. So series is like it's a one-dimensional array, like our homogeneous data. It can store a series of integers, collection of integers like 10, 23, 56, etc. The key points of the series are homogeneous data, size is immutable, and values are data mutable. For data frame, we have two-dimensional array with rows and columns. It's like a heterogeneous data. We can have string and integer and decimal values also. It's like a tabular structure data frame. We have rows and columns like this. Key points are heterogeneous data, size is mutable, and data is mutable. And finally, panel is three-dimensional data structure, which represents your panel graphical representation. It's like a container of data frame. Panel can be illustrated as your container of data frame. It's the key features. So we'll talk about more about series, how we can define series in pandas. So we have pandas.series function in our pandas library. It's like a constructor. It comes with constructor with 4 parameters: pandas.series, data, index, dtype, and copy. The 4 parameters are available in series constructor of pandas. And the parameters are like we have data. It takes all the input as your ND array, list, dictionary, etc. So data holds your input to your pandas for series constructor. We can give index. Index must be unique. It can be index. So we should pass some index value for your series constructor. D type is like optional. It's like a data type. And copy is a copy data. It's a default as a false. We need to whether we want to copy our data or whether we are creating a copy of your data frame or series. By default, it is false. If we make it true, we'll get a copy of data or copy of series. So what are the inputs we can have for the series? We can give input in terms of array, dictionary, list, ND array using NumPy, or some scalar value also like constants. How we can create an empty series? To create an empty series, we need to import pandas library as PD, and we just need to include pd.series, pd.series constructor, and whenever we print s, we'll have a series by default series as your pandas library. We'll see this. Okay. So we have imported pandas. If pandas libraries are not available on your Jupyter or Anaconda, you can install that library using pip command. Pip install pandas. See, so this is a pass series we have. Its data type is float 64. So it's just a creation of empty series. It's a creation of empty series. How we can input some values? So we can use in NumPy. So the NumPy array is created and series is created by using this NumPy array or ND array. We've imported NumPy and pandas library, and here the arrays are created A, B, C, D, and that data is passed to your input as your series constructor, and we are printing S pandas or S series. So basically series is like a 1D array. You can see here 1D array. It's a 1D array. So this is the way we are getting the output. 0, 1, 2, 3, and we have object as A, B, C, D. You can see here we have some indices value, index value 0, 1, 2, 3 by default. We have not mentioned anything over here. It is automatically we are getting indices 0, 1, 2, 3. So automatically we are starting at the index 0. But we can change it. We can change the index using index parameter. So suppose I want to start index from 100, 101, 102, and 103. So in as data, so by default we are getting index as 0, 1, 2, 3, and if we change it to your index or we change it to parameter to index, we'll get indices starting from customized indices like this. So 100, 101, 102, 103, and your values are A, B, C, D. So we are converting this one, your 1D array, to represent in the this one. So by default, we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3. It is starting with 0, but we can make changes to your index using index parameter. So this is the just a numpy. We can create series from dictionary also. So by default, we are getting dictionary. We can make use of dictionary for your indices like this. So we don't need to mention index for your values. So we have dictionary over here A0, B1, and C2. That is key value pair. And we are passing that dictionary to our series constructor. And we are printing it. Here. So we are creating a series using dictionary. So the key, your key of your or all your keys of your dictionary is converted to your indices. They are represented as your indices A, B, C, and your these are the values. Values are nothing but your dictionary values, and keys are nothing but your indices. One more example we have. We can change the index, though we have specified the key and value pair in dictionary. We have already defined key and value pair in dictionary A0, B1, C2, but we can again redefine it by using index. See, B, C, D, A. So basically, this is the NaN value will be handled, not a number, because what happened here the indices are B, C, D, A. So respective value will be captured. We have mentioned we want indices. We want indices like this B, C, D, A. So B, the key value B, the key is B and value is year 1. So that will be displayed. The value for C is 2.0. Value for D, we don't have D over here in the dictionary, right? We don't have. Okay, just hold on. I'm getting one call. Just hold on. Just give me 2 minutes. Yeah, okay, sorry. So we are talking about this indices. So see here, so the dictionary is there with value, key and value pair already defined. And here the indices are defined over here. And we are redefining the indices. But the problem is like we have keys as A, B, and C, and we have specifying the indices as B, C, D, A. So okay, the mapping will be done automatically. The B's value will be taken 1.0, C value will be taken 2.0, and A value will be taken 0, 0.0. What about D? So we don't have D over here in key value pair in the dictionary. So automatically D will be assigned as NA value. So these are the value we are missing. Okay, so we can handle that missing value in pandas, but we are not talking about the missing value and we are not talking about a missing value or NaN in this lecture. We'll cover that thing in our practical session. But see, this is the way we can redefine our indices, but the problem is the NaN value. Okay, so we can redefine the series. Okay, how we can access the data from your series with the position? So we can access the data using position like this. So we need to mention the index value over here. Okay, index value over here. So we have series over here and we have given the index as A, B, C, D, E, and we can retrieve the first element using zeroth index. So we are starting with the indices as 0. So we can retrieve the element using position or the index. So we just need to mention index value or the position s of 0. So firstly we can just print this value also, uh, series over here. See here, so all the value will be displayed over here. Series value will be displayed here with the index as A, B, C, D, E, and our respective value will be displayed. Of 0 we have -1, -1. So -1 is nothing but your negative indexing. You know that in Python we have negative indexing also. So we are getting 5 value because -1 is this one, -1, -2, -3 like that. Okay, and suppose we put a value as 6, s of 6. So it will automatically throw an error. It says that it is out of index, out of bounds with access 0. Okay, we don't have index 6 currently. So we can have a negative indexing or we can have positive indexing. We just need to take care of the values. So f of 1 represent value 2. See here. So we can retrieve the element using positions. So one more example is there. Okay, we already seen this. Yeah. So this is the way we can retrieve the number of elements using slicing. So this is a slicing we already seen in our previous examples. So we can give a slicing over here and we can retrieve the number of elements. So we have the elements, series elements, and we have s of colon 3. So colon is nothing but starting with the 0 till 0, 1, 2. So all the value 0, 1, and 2 will be retrieved. So this much will be retrieved from your series. Okay, only first value will be first three value will retrieve. So suppose we change it to 0 to colon 5. So what will be the output? What is the output for this one? Answer in the chat box. So a series as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, index as A, B, C, D, E, and we are retrieving 2 colon 5. We are retrieving 2 colon 5. So what will be the output? Yes, I want answer in the chat box.
Sir, will the 5 be counted in the output?
Yes, yes. See, So starting with the second index, 0, 1, 2. So we are starting with 3 and till end, because we have only 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth element, fourth index element, and we are retrieving 2 colon 5. Okay, what if we have printed s? What is the value of print s? What is the value of print s? Suppose we do print s like this. Okay, Ashutosh, this is the output we are getting because we have 2 colon 5. 2 colon 5 means what? 0, 1, 2. So 2, 3, and 4. These are the elements will be retrieved. So after slicing, what is the value of s? We'll check. Okay, so we are not basically generating making changes to the original one. It is like a copy. We are performing operations on our copy. Okay, we'll see that thing how we can perform different operations on pandas. So we are just making some operations on our copy, although not on original data. Okay, so 2 colon 5 will be retrieved as 3, 4, 5, and our s will be remain as it is. Yeah, moving ahead. More examples like this. This is negative indexing. This is negative indexing. So minus 3 colon, what will be the output for this? What is the output for this? It will retrieve last 3 element, minus 3 and colon. So obviously we are getting minus last 3 elements to be displayed from a series element. See. So last 3 element will be displayed, 3, 4, and 5. Is it negative indexing? So like we retrieve using label, using positions, we can retrieve using labels also, using indices. We can retrieve the element using indices. Here, the series is created and indices are given, and we have given print or print s of a. So s of a. So it will display the value which is related to your index. So what is the value for a index? 1. Suppose we change it to e. See, so 5 will be retrieved. What is the value for this? What is the output for this? Yes.
It will give an error, right?
We'll check. Yeah, so it will give the error because f is not there. Okay, f is not there. So this is the way we can retrieve value by using their label or index. 3 means what? 3. Ready? Okay. More examples. Suppose we want to retrieve the multiple elements. This will give you a single element. Suppose I want multiple elements using labels or index. So I can specify the list here A, C, comma D. Oh, sorry. Here. So ACD will be retrieved A, C, and D, and respective value will be displayed. Suppose we do like this AACF. Let us check what it will retrieve. So obviously it will give error because F is not there. Okay, F is not there. So we need to careful about this one. A, C, D. So we can retrieve multiple elements by specifying their multiple indices A, C, and D with the comma separation. More examples on this, like, okay, we have already seen this, like error. Okay, so if the index is not there, it will give an error. So this is about series. It's a one-dimensional array, and we can perform different slicing operations, retrieval on your series elements. Moving ahead, we'll see data frame. So data frame is like a tabular structure of rows and columns. It's a two-dimensional data structure. It is having a potential to have a different data types. It's a mutable. It is having labeled axes like rows and columns, and it can perform all the operations, all arithmetic operations like addition, multiplication, like that. How we can perform data frame? So we have data frame constructor in pandas. It again come with some 5 parameters: data, index, column, d type, and copy. So obviously we need some data. We can take input from the data like series. We can pass series and nd array, map, list, dictionaries, etc. Or also in data frame also we can pass data as the data frame also in a data frame to create a data frame. Second one is index. Obviously we need some index for the row labels. We require column. If no index is passed, it is we need to pass some column also, column label also. And then we have data type, which data type we require for the each column, and a copy. By default it is false. If you want to have a copy of your data, we can make it true. So how we can create a data frame, empty data frame? So we can use list, dictionary, series, nd arrays, or another data frame also as your input to your data frame. So we'll see how. Okay, so data frame is like a 2D structure or tabular structure. So first example is on data frame. Let me just first make this one as text. Data frame. Yes. Now I will copy paste this one. So I have created data frame by importing pandas as PD, and I am creating df equal to pd dot data frame. Data frame is a constructor to create data frame, and we have printed df. So you can see here we have empty data frame, and it is displaying a columns and index empty because it is empty. We'll add some data in the data frame. This is first example. It is using some simple 1D list. The data is created like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that value is passed to your data frame, and we are displaying df here. So this is the way we are getting the input. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that are your rows, like your indices, and 0. This is nothing but your, what we can say, the label for your column. So by default it is 0. We can make our own data columns also. We'll see more examples. Suppose I want some data or the name to the column. Suppose this one. Suppose I am creating the data which consisting of your name and age. So we are importing that pandas library, and we are creating a data. This is data we are creating using list, nested list. Alex, comma 10, Bob, comma tail 12, Clark, comma 13. and we are passing that data to our data frame constructor, data, comma, columns. So here we are specifying column labels, columns equal to name, comma, age. So these are the column label we have, and these are the data we have for the respective column data, and then we are displaying df. So how it will display like this one. Obviously we have some indices over here, 0, 1, 2. The name column will be created, age column will be created with the respective values from your data. So this is a way we can create or we can specify the column name. Suppose we want to change our data type, that thing we can do. So the same example, but the d type equal to float. D type equal to float. So see here the values are pure integer numbers, here the values are decimal numbers. So we can do that thing also by specifying the D type. More examples on this one. Suppose we have created dictionary. So we can use that dictionary concept to give the column names. The same example with the dictionary, and a dictionary value will be treated as your column name. Here the names are given and here the age are given, and we are displaying df as your data frame. So the key value pair can be used to create our column name. So see here the same example, your keys from your dictionaries are converted to your column names. See here, column titles will be there, column labels will be there. Okay, and the indices will be 0, 1, 2, 3. We can change the index. So by default, we are getting indices as 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. But we can change that row indices values using index parameter. So that we have created one dictionary or data using dictionary, and we can change the index name using this one. Index equal to rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, and rank 4. So we can redefine our indices using index parameter. Oh. So yeah, so we have by default 0, 1, 2, 3, but we can redefine indices using this one. So we have redefined our indices in index parameter. So this is the index. We have rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, and rank 4. The rest of the data is same. So we can change the column name, we can change the index name also. We can have dictionary as your data here. So basically we require row and columns in our data frame. So again we are using key value pair, or we are passing nested dictionaries to create our data. So we have A1, B2, A5, B10, C10. So this will be treated as your row and column. See here. Some missing value will be there obviously, because we have some irrelevant data, because we have A and B as a common data. A, B, C will be created as your what we can say maximum keys, and respective data will be put over here 1, 2, 5, 10, and 20 will be assigned C. What about the first data? Because we don't have C over here, so it will specify your C value as your A9 value, that is a missing value. So this is the way we need to handle the missing data or NN values, because the data from your data set will not be uniform. It may have some missing values or NN values. It may not be uniform. So we need to take care of the operations here. Again, we can change the index for the previous example. So again, same thing will be created with the index values are changed. We have specified index as first and second. So this is the way we are getting index. Okay, so this 0 and 1 will be replaced with first and second. A and B value for the first 1, 2. This is 1, 2. And 5, 10, 20 for the second index. This is the data frame. More examples. So we can redefine our index for specific data or specific row. So we are redefining our data for this specific row, and we are redefining our index also. So the first one is like pd.series 1, 2, 3, index is ABC. For 2 key, we have series as 1, 2, 3, 4, and index as ABCD. See here. See. So the A is created with 1 as 1, 2, 3, and 2 is created 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, we are getting the last D value will be NaN for one column, this one column. So this way also we can create our data frame. This is also key value pair, but with the index specified. But this will be a irrelevant data because we have ABC and ABCD as your indexes. You can extract the data from your data frame. Suppose we want to retrieve the data from your data frame. So we can mention it by using the key value or the column name. So we are defining df of 1. And we want to retrieve the data from your data frame. See here. So the 1 will be retrieved. Only 1 will be retrieved with 1, 2, 3 and NN. 1, 2, 3 and NN. Suppose we make changes over here like 2. This is retrieval of your data from your data frame. df of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will be retrieved using 2 data frame. So we can retrieve the data frame by specifying the column name. We can perform some operations as we have seen like this. We need 2 data frames and we can perform direct addition. The pandas is imported, then series is created, a data frame is created using some series. So series pd.series 1, 2, 3 with the indices. 2 is pd.series 1, 2, 3, 4. Data frame is created by passing D of series. The DF is created, and we need to add the series like third series we are creating. So new column we are adding as p dot series 20, 10, 20 and 30. That DF will be displayed, and we are performing addition of your data frame using this one by creating a new data frame. So df of 4 equal to df of 1 plus df of 3. So this is a way basically we are adding a new column to the existing column in data frame. So we just need to mention df of and the label of your column or the column name. So automatically your new column will be added in the existing column of your data frame. Here. So we have data frame 1, 2 and 3, and we are performing df of 1 plus df of 3, and we are storing that df in df of 4. So see here, we are adding a new column. This is the new column we have added, 3, 10, 20, 30, that is the NN, and we are performing addition on 1 and 3. So 1 and 3, so 1 plus 10 is 11, 2 plus 20 is 22, 3 plus 30 is 33, and nn. So we can perform arithmetic operation on your data frame values. We need two data frame, and we can perform direct addition, and we can add more columns into your data frame. We can perform deletion. We can delete some column from your data frame using del function. Del function we can use, or pop function we can use to delete your column from your data frame. Here, the data frame is created using series 1, 2, and 3. The data frame is displayed, and we are performing del function. So directly del function can be applicable. Suppose we want to delete first column using del function, so you need to use del space df of 1, del space df of 1, and we can just, if we print df, our first column df1 will be deleted. We can delete using pop function also. Suppose I want to delete a second column, another column, so we can use df dot pop in bracket 2. The two column will be displayed, deleted. So we can either use pop or I can use del. So these two functions we can use to delete your column from your data frame. Okay. So we can delete our columns using del function and a pop function. So see here, in first one, the one column is deleted, this column is deleted, and in second operation the two will be deleted. So we can use del function and pop function to delete your thing. And the last one is your row selection, addition, and deletion. So we can select element okay, we can select the element row wise. We can addition and deletion, you can perform deletion or row wise. So there are two operations we can perform for selection, row selection. We can select by label and we can select by indices or position. So rows can be selected by using LOC function. So we have LOC function with us. Okay. So we can select a row by its label by using LOC function. So we need to pass the label to LOC function. So LOC function can be used based on your index. So LOC function accept indices or label of your data frame. So suppose the data frame is created using series with some index value. The df is your data frame, and we are printing df dot loc of b. So here we are passing our label or we are passing our index. Basically, we are extracting or we are retrieving rows. So we can retrieve or select rows by using LOC function if we want to pass label. So we can do it. See here. So we are printing df dot loc of b. So the b is there in both the. So see here. So b is nothing but your 2. This one 2 and this one 2. Suppose I will change it to suppose 5. See here. So the b is retrieved df dot loc of b. So it will check it out the value for the results. The B for the one column is 2. The value for B for the second two column is 5. So that this value will be retrieved. So LOC will give you the specific value based on your indices, based on your labels. So LOC will be taking care of indices. The second way, we have integer location. We can select rows by passing integer location to your ILOC function. Remember this, we have ILOC function. So ILOC function will accept the location, the integer location of your values. And LOC function will accept index value. So see here. ILOC of 2. ILOC of 2. So here we have not passed any index or the label. We have passed here 2. So 2 is nothing but index of this one. Okay. This is not index. These are the labels index. And these are the index 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Okay. So suppose I change this value to 5, suppose. So you can check it out. So 3 and 5 will be retrieved. So ILOC will accept integer location. LOC will accept these index or labels of your data frame, and ILOC will take integer location of your series, integer 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay. So we have a row wise collection, or we have row wise selection. So we can select row elements by using LOC function, by considering label of your data frame, and we can consider ILOC function by integer location. And we have slice rows. We can have a slicing on your rows, simple operation using a colon operator. So we can have this kind of operation on your row. This is row selection using slicing. So suppose we have df 2 colon 4. Just guess what will be the output for this. 2 colon 4. What will be the output for this? This is row selection, or we can say slicing. So what will be the output for this one? Anyone? Just read the statement carefully. We are using print df 2 colon 4. We know that how slicing works.
C, D, 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Okay. So 3 and 4. Okay. Obviously, we are getting 1 and 2, 1, 2 column. So 3 and 4 will be retrieved. Okay. We don't have the value for this one, 1. So we are retrieving the value as your 2 colon 4. So 3 none, or 3 3. That is row wise. Okay. We are selecting the values row wise. So you can imagine we have 1, 2, 3, none, nan, nan value, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 3 3 value will be retrieved from 1 1, and nan and 4 value will be retrieved from second, last one. Okay. So basically C and D will be retrieved. So this is 2 colon 4. I think this is the last one. Yeah. Okay, one more is there. Addition of rows. We have addition of rows also. This is last one. Or we have more. Yeah, this is the second last one. So we can perform addition on your rows like we perform it on a columns. So we just need to use append. We need to use append function. Like this. So suppose we have df. This is the first data frame. Okay. Firstly, we can print it. Print df. This is print df2, and then we are printing this df dot append df2. So we are adding df with df2. We'll see what will be the output. See. So this is the df 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 3 4. This is df2 for no, I think, yeah. So we are adding this one. Not actually adding, we are just concatenating and this using adding. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we can add df with the df2 by using append function. Let us see whether we can perform addition. We can do, and just check it out. No, it is not possible, I think. Let us check how it can work. I think this will, sorry, df. Yeah, so 10 12. So we have mismatched value 1 3 6 7. So the all values are mixed up. Okay, we can just delete it. So we can append data frame using row wise using append function. Suppose we want to delete rows, we can have a df dot drop. So drop function will accept labels. So we just need to pass df dot drop in bracket label. So suppose we pass label 0, the zeroth value will be deleted. Zeroth row value will be deleted. Let us check. df and df2 is created, df and df2 are appended, and we are performing df equal to df dot drop 0. So 3 4 7 8, yeah, so this will be deleted. This is 0th element from both the element 1 2 5 6. So all the 0th index element will be deleted, the label element will be deleted. The drop can be used to delete your rows from your data frame. So this is about your data frame, pandas, whenever we have series and data frame. Okay, it's almost 2 or 3 o'clock. So we can consider examples. We can consider our example in practical session. Okay, so we are going to see one example which will use some data set, and we can perform some analysis and operations on the data set using pandas. So I will share this one with you also, so that you can go through the content. In practical session in next week or in coming week, we are going to see about, okay, the pandas we need to check it in the next week, because let us see how we can cover. But the example is like this one. This example we need to check it out. Iris example. So we will import the CSV file in pandas, and we will try to analyze that data. We'll perform analysis on that data. So we'll see that thing in our next session, but it's almost 3 o'clock. Okay, I will launch our quiz. Okay, so quiz will be live in Google Classroom for both the class. Mark your attendance till 3:15. Everyone, mark your attendance till 3:15. So 19 April. 3:15. So everyone, mark your attendance till 3:15. Okay. So attendance is there in Google Classroom. Okay, let me know who, any DSC students are there in this meeting. DSC students.
Yes, sir.
Just put a message in the
Yes, sir.
chat box. Put a message in the chat box. Okay, Aman is there. Aishwarya, yes. Okay. Okay, just have a look at this one. Submit your work of Java. Those who are not yet done with the submission of Java, submit your work. Many students have not yet completed the C. Prathamesh, Akash, Jash, Jishan, Yogita, Apurva, Ashutosh, Yash, Abhishek. Many of the students have not yet submitted Java practical. We need to submit your marks to exam cell today only. So kindly submit your work till 8 p.m. today. Those who are not submitted the work in Google Classroom of DSC Java, you need to submit the work till 8 p.m. today, because we need to pass your marks to exam cell. Okay, so everyone mark your attendance in Google Classroom till 3:15. We will see example on pandas in next session. Okay, thank you so much and take care. DSC students, submit your work till today 8 p.m. Otherwise, you will get less marks if you have not submitted the work. See, these are the students who have not yet submitted. I will show you. So this is this Java FX practical, then interface. 5 students have not submitted. Akash, Jash, Jishan, Yash, and Abhishek. If you are in the meeting, just submit your work as soon as possible till today 8 p.m. This one is AWT or applet. Aishwarya, Akash, Jash, Jishan, Yogita, Mihir, Yash, Aman, and Abhishek. If you are not submitting the work, you will get less marks. You have to submit a term work to get the marks to be submitted to exam cell. Okay?
Sir, which was the last assignment?
Sorry? Okay,
Sir, the last explanation.
you are not submitted this one. Swing. You have to submit till today only, 8 p.m. because we need to pass, or we need to submit a marks till tomorrow. So submit your work till today 8 p.m. DSC students for Java. Okay, so thank you so much. We'll end the meeting now. Thank you. Submit your attendance. Mark your attendance till 3:15 p.m. today. Thank you.